Stage 9, day 3 in the Pyrenees, 1,200 kilometres race to this point, and today slices off another 160. The road out of Saint-Gaudens is flat enough to fool any riders who hadn't read the road book that they're out of the mountains, but in fact 2 Tour classics are waiting for them. 60 kilometres in comes the Col d'Aspin. Once the riders are over that, it's straight onto the giant Col du Tourmalet. From the summit there at 2,100 metres, the peloton hits a giant exit ramp out of the Pyrenees in the direction of the garrison town of Tarbes. Tough on 2 wheels, pretty spectacular by helicopter. With a 70-kilometre downhill run to the finish, the racing among the overall contenders was never likely to match the scenery on Stage 9. And although the bunch did put on a chase in the closing stages, the fight for the win was between 2 men who'd been out front for most of the day. Eric Fedrigo of France and Italy's Franco Perizzotti.
This is a day in the Tour de France when we want a dead heat. 2 riders over the line first. It won't happen.
Well, it's not going to happen. Somebody's going to win, and now Perizzotti has decided he doesn't want to come to the front anymore. He wants to take the wheel of Eric Fedrigo. It's going to make the Frenchman lead out the sprint. It is oh so difficult to judge a sprint when there's only 2 of you at the front end of the race, especially when you've really worked hard together over all of these kilometres. Perizzotti, he's dreaming of a win in the Tour de France, Phil, after having 3 stage victories at the Giro d'Italia.
Well, this is going to be, I think, the way Fedrigo is leading out here. Perizzotti does have a good sprint. Who knows what's left in the tank, though, after a ride through the Pyrenees. He's going to have to lead from the front. The Frenchman, he was looking the wrong way. Perizzotti has gone up the inside. I don't think Fedrigo will have it, but they go round. Advantage Perizzotti on the bend. It's a sharp, sweeping right-hander. Now the Frenchman, has he got the strength to come out of the slipstream of Franco Perizzotti? Well, this is the year of the French in the Tour de France, and I think he might. He comes to the line, he's taken it. I don't believe this. 3 stage wins and only on day 9 of the Tour de France. It is fantastic.
That's a brilliant performance by the French. This really has been their tour this year, and this is a pretty dodgy corner here, a sketchy corner, and I tell you what, Perizzotti had read the book, but he couldn't get it quite right. Swinging round the corner there, this looks like Velits.
It is Velits, and he finished well up yesterday. Now, as we line up for the finish here, Velits is all over the road. Frere's making his move on the right, through the middle, a white jersey of Sergei Ivanov, and that's the finish of a sprinter. After a tough day in the saddle, Oscar Freire finishes it off for the main field. Quite a big main field has come away from the Tourmalet today, but the French have got a 3rd stage win in this year's Tour de France, and Eric Fedrigo, for him, well, it's his 2nd ever, because he won in Gap in 2006.
There's the stage result, the 1-2, the same as it had been since the slopes of the Tourmalet. Then Oscar Freire in search of a stage win today, but instead only leading home the bunch 34 seconds late with timing the catch. In that bunch were all the big names. Bradley Wiggins getting used to rolling in next to the likes of Carlos Sastre and Lance Armstrong. Charlie Begalius lost a bit of time today after a hard day's work for Cadel Evans yesterday. No change either in the GC. Rinaldo Nocentini achieves his ambition of wearing the yellow jersey into the rest day. Alberto Contador is pretty much where he wants to be, 6 seconds off the lead. Lance Armstrong is right on his shoulder in 3rd, ahead of Levi Leipheimer, Bradley Wiggins, Andreas Klurden, Tony Martin and Christian van der Velde. No real change for the other big names either, although Andy Schleck had a scare with a puncture at 4 kilometres to go. Kenny Van Hummel is up to 171st incidentally, but still the last man in the race. Katusha's Danilo Napolitano was eliminated on time today.